What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the HD Sports Podcast. I know it's a little bit of an early episode. It's not going to be a full episode. This is called Quick Hits. And for my first Quick Hits episode, I'm going to be talking about Myles Garrett and why I hate the NFL. Basically, this is fully unscripted. I don't have anything in front of me. I don't have anything pre-typed or pre-written or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to give you guys my raw thoughts about everything. Let's talk about Myles Garrett first. His suspension, his what went on, who's in the right and the wrong. So let's start about the situation, what went on, just right off the top of my head. What I remember is it was pass play. Mason Rudolph threw it. Myles Garrett came up, kind of gave him a bear hug late, then threw him down really late. Then Mason Rudolph proceeded to grab Myles Garrett's head, kind of twist it, try to pull his helmet off. Then Myles Garrett got pissed off. He stood up, and then in real time you couldn't see this, but Mason Rudolph basically kicked Myles Garrett in the nuts, really pissed him off. Myles Garrett then proceeded to grab Mason Rudolph by the face mask, pull him completely up, take off his helmet. Then by that point there was someone in between them. He reared back, hit him in the head with the helmet, which is what everybody remembers. No one else is going to be talking about what happened before, what happened after the hit on the helmet. That Maurkice Pouncey came up and threw a couple punches and kicking him, and literally it looked like a street fight. So I just want to kind of talk about who was in the right, who was in the wrong. I'm going to say everybody was in the wrong. No one was in the right here. Mason Rudolph started it. Mason, you have to be smarter than what you are. You're a quarterback. You're not a big, tough, strong lineman. You're not a linebacker. You're not a wide receiver. You're a quarterback. You need to learn your place. You get tackled to the ground late. You look at the refs and you whine and cry. That's what quarterbacks do. They sit on the ground and they whine and cry. You're not huge. You're not Cam Newton, who could just get up and be like, "Oh, what are you looking at? Why'd you do that?" Look, Cam can probably throw some punches and be okay. Mason, you're tiny, dude. You're a stereotypical quarterback. You don't do that. He was in the wrong for going ahead and trying to literally rip off Myles Garrett's head. Not just his helmet. It looked like he was trying to rip his head off. That pissed me off. And it pisses me off that nobody remembers that and nobody talks about it. Mason Rudolph is a dirtbag for trying to literally rip his whole helmet off and then kick him in the nuts. You're a dude. You know you don't do that. It's a street fight, dog. You get your helmet ripped off then. Why would you continue to go back in there? You back up at that point if you didn't learn your lesson already. He rears back, he hits you in the head. That's your problem then. On Myles Garrett terms, you're huge, dude. You don't need to be ripping someone's helmet off. You could drop the helmet and you could throw punches. You're ginormous. You're Aaron Donald size. You're huge. You should be able to just rear back, throw punches, and be just as effective. I get it. You're in the heat of the moment. He kicked you in the nuts. He tried to rip your whole head off and you're pissed off. Is the suspension for the entire season in the right? Did the NFL make the right call with the suspensions and the fines? Maurkice Pouncey getting suspended for 4 games. I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like that's roughly where he needs to be, 4 games before throwing the punches and the kicks. But Maurkice Pouncey is notorious for backing up his quarterback. I believe it was Eric Reed when he hit Ben Roethlisberger a couple years ago or last year. It was a late hit, and then they got up into each other's faces. Maurkice Pouncey went up and grabbed him by the face mask and was literally trying to rip his face off. So Maurkice Pouncey is very notorious for backing up his quarterbacks. I don't really blame him too much. You have to defend your quarterback, but the 4-game suspension, the NFL's correct about that one. Myles Garrett being suspended for the whole year, again, correct about that one. But the thing is he's not just suspended for the whole year. He's suspended indefinitely, so he could be suspended for an unprecedented amount of time. He could be suspended forever. He could be completely blackballed from the NFL. He could be you can't play anymore. Blackballed isn't the right word. I'm sorry. You can't play anymore. You're suspended forever. You can't play in the NFL. He could be. Is it wrong? Yes, you it was a mistake. He showed how dumb and immature he was. I get it. For the whole year is correct. And if they make the postseason, which obviously probably isn't going to happen, correct. He should be able to come back, though, next year and play out his season perfectly fine, but he should be on a very thin rope at that point. That's the only reason why I think he should come back, is because he should be on a very thin rope. And then Mason Rudolph only getting a fine is total BS. It's stupid, and it's because the NFL defends quarterbacks. And here's the other part of the video. I hate the NFL and how they treat quarterbacks. Not just I hate the NFL, I hate how they treat quarterbacks. Example, and it's public eye too. It's how the media perceives quarterbacks too. If a quarterback goes on the sideline, yells at his teammates and yelling and screaming, he has fiery spirit. He's trying to hype up his team. But if a wide receiver comes on the sideline and does the exact same thing, he's a diva. He's a problem. He's an attitude in the locker room. Why is that? Why do we, as the public and the media, defend quarterbacks so much? I get it. They're the money makers of the NFL. They make the games. But why do we do it? It's BS. It's stupid. It's total crap how everybody else gets treated, and the NFL's quarterbacks get put on such a pedestal and nobody can touch them. In the games, you can't touch them. In the locker room, you can't touch them. It shows Aaron Rodgers is the biggest crybaby, has the biggest attitude, and I hate watching Aaron Rodgers play because he has such an attitude, but nobody ever talks about it. Nobody ever talks about how much attitude that Aaron Rodgers has and how he's the biggest crybaby and he looks at the refs the most. I hate him out of any other quarterback in the league because of how big of a crybaby he is and how big of an attitude he has and how disrespectful he is to his wide receivers, to his coaches. And if you don't agree with him, you can get out. No one runs the team except for the front office. That's it. You don't run the team, Aaron. That's just final. You play out your contract. And I'm usually a player person. But how we as the media and we as the people treat quarterbacks and put them on a pedestal that they can't be touched and they can't be looked at a certain light frustrates me. And that's why I hate the NFL and how they put quarterbacks in a certain light. Okay. That's basically all I want to talk about, you guys. This is literally just exclusive for quick episodes. This episode's going to be less than 10 minutes long. Just want to get my thoughts out there. It's too short to be put on a full HG Sports podcast episode. This will be called Quick Hits. That's it. You're not guaranteed one every single week. You're just guaranteed one if some breaking or developing news is happening that I have my thoughts on. Again, no script, completely raw. Just wanted to put that out there. Let me know what you guys think about this concept in the comment section below. Again, subscribe, like, comment down, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.